Electricast.
This episode is brought to you by Batiste Dry Shampoo. Whether you're on the go, at the gym, or getting ready for a night out, Batiste has a dry shampoo for you. Refresh with over 10 signature fragrances. Or try Batiste Hint of Color, a tinted dry shampoo that seamlessly blends with your hair. Need an extra boost? Try Batiste Dry Shampoo with added benefits like volumizing, texturizing, and more. Buy Batiste now, in-store or online at your nearest retailer.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Welcome into another episode of Missing the Point. It's Mike Marcangelo, joined by the real DK Bob Kelly, Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan. And today we're talking about the Week 2 loss of the New England Patriots in overtime 23-20 to the Seattle Seahawks. We'll dive into that game. We'll preview the Thursday Night Football game against Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, and we'll make our Week 3 picks. But before we get really into it, I know that the Power Ranking show dropped. If you ever listened to that, find that that in the show notes. Go listen to it. DK and Bobby take unmitigated shots at us, right? So we just couldn't defend ourselves, so it was great. But after Week 2,
we did do that too.
And I have the fucking receipts. I know. Bobby, how are we feeling as a Patriots fan, right? Like, just try to put your 2003 hat back on. Turn yourself back in mode. Yeah, put yourself back into that mode that you were the fan of the championship team. How are you feeling after this game?
Pretty good. I know they lost, but they had a couple shots to win that game against a team that no one really gave them a chance of winning coming into it. I wouldn't be feeling bad if I was a Patriots fan. You're a blocked field goal away from winning that game.
Yep, true. Ray, I suspect you have a different take.
Yeah, but not far off from what Bobby said. I think that obviously when you're kind of beating your chest like they did after Week 1, I think that there was a lot of "I told you so's" going around, whether it was subconsciously or not. I think that
maybe into it.
No, they definitely were. The players were hyped, like coaches were hyped on the low. Like you could tell they were feeling themselves after beating Cincinnati out there in Cincinnati. And you should, right? When you're a team that was that big of an underdog, a team like you said that hasn't been expected to win many games this season, let alone even be competitive in games. So it came out to give the showing they did in Cincinnati, and even the showing on Sunday, right? Mike and I have talked about this a lot over the last year, but them not being able to be closers at home. And for the most part, they had the game in hand on Sunday. I felt like they got too cute in the second half, but I said, we'll get into that as the show progresses. But don't feel awful. But I do feel they should have been 2-0 after this, despite of what I thought with them coming into the season, because they did enough on Sunday, in my opinion, to win the game, but they just didn't get the job done, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think, listen, what you said just a couple seconds ago is the most important part, is like, just be competitive, right? Like, right. If you can win, great. Like, I know that you're in it. Like, you want to get as many wins as possible. You and I differ there. Don't give us the shit that you gave us after Week 4 of last year. Right. Because that made Sundays not fun if you were a New England Patriots fan. It's one thing to be a fan of a team that tried really hard, but it's just not good enough, which I do think is the case with this team. So I know that you said that you wouldn't be upset, Bobby, but Jacoby Brissett had 117 passing yards in the first half, right? He finished the game with 149 passing yards. So he had 32 passing yards in the second half. Is it a fair statement for me to make
please,
that this team has to play perfect in order to win every game, but just is not talented enough to do it?
Yes. Yeah, that's a fair take. What was the score at halftime?
It was 17-13 Seattle.
Yeah. Okay.
So they win it. They win it. Yeah. So
I mean, I feel like what it is with the Patriots is they put together two. You can count on them for 2 good drives per game. 2 good drives. So it's on the defense. It's on the defense to do whatever they can do, but that's what you're getting from the offense and Jacoby Brissett. He's not going to lose you the game. He's going to give you 2 good drives.
Right.
I mean, it just so happens that only one of them was in the second half this time.
32 passing yards in the second half, right? What do you think about that?
Oh, he fucking sucks, bro. Like, I'm already out. I'm already out. Like, we talked about this last week, right? Once again, we gave him a mulligan or gave him a pass because, the 100 yards was enough to win that game.
129.
129. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, 129. But, we spoke about it wasn't going to be sustainable. And, as much as, Rhamondre and Wilson Gibson running game was awesome again. So that we're back to that being a staple again, which I'm fine with. Like I said, like I said last week on last week's show, I feel like you set up the run, the run sets up the pass. So I'm fine with that.
As long as you can pass.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's the problem, because once again, you go from Hunter Henry being the man in the first half, and I'm like, okay, like this is, he's come a long way from the Mr. Glass, narrative that we had coming in and when he came in 2021. But he's had some games here and there, but this was a Hunter Henry game, and you could tell with him early on since he's been here, like when he's going to be heavily involved in the game. And Sunday was that, and then next thing you know, they go away from that. There was no play action involved. It becomes super predictable because they know that Jacoby Brissett is not going to beat you. Once again, he may not lose the game for you, but essentially he really is losing it, because if you cannot throw for a 3rd and 5 when it's 3rd and 6, or if you can't throw at 3rd, like if you can't throw a screen, the proper way, like it's just there's so many man just does not do. And I know I'm hijacking it right now, but it's fucking ridiculous. Like he's awful, man. He's fucking awful. Like I don't need to see him on my team anymore. I'm already after 2 weeks. I've seen enough.
You're out on the Jacoby experiment.
I'm out, bro. I'm out. I was already out because, like, once again, and Mike gave me my credit. He gave me my flowers. Once again, early on last year, when we realized that the season was over after y'all smacked us in Dallas, I said, hey, go look at that kid in North Carolina. And some of the comments after that show was like, oh, he hasn't done X, Y, Z. He's not this, he's not that. I said, I'm telling you, I said, if he's there, you take him. And they took him. So my bias is showing full, and I admit that. I want to see the kid play, because once again, you need the threat of the passing game. Is that plain and simple? Because the line hasn't been as bad. We'll talk about that. But it's just like, if that's the case, I just want to see the best players out there. Jacoby Brissett is not that at all.
I kind of think it's kind of the landscape of the NFL right now is this struggle of the passing game. You don't want to put Drake May out there to get absolutely shellacked like all rookie quarterbacks have so far. Is my only input there. Is like, I'd rather have Jacoby Brissett playing shitty than Drake May not living up to expectation and having all this stuff fall down on him.
Listen, I'd rather have Bryce Young than Jacoby Brissett.
Well, let me ask you a question, Ray. I mean, no, actually, before I ask you a question, I'm hoping to blow both of your minds now. Okay, so heading into Sunday's game, since 1983, there were 152 teams that have one time of possession, had 150 yards rushing, had 300 yards of total offense, and no turnovers. And they were 152-0. The Patriots did all of those things on Sunday, and they lost.
So what does that tell you?
That they have to be perfect, but they're not. So it's not as much.
They did it enough. It's the fucking quarterback. Like, he's terrible.
That's what yards of offense and 32 passing yards in the second half.
Yeah, that's a joke. Yeah. That's nothing to do with perfection. It's like he sucks. He sucks. Like, if you either once again, play action pass, do something. Like, I don't understand. Like, I would take Michael Bishop at this moment. Like, I just give me something different than what I'm seeing at quarterback. Like, Cinder Block has to go. That's my name. I'm not calling him by his name anymore. Like, that's become the new horseshoe. Cinder Block has to go. I'm done.
I just
I'm
want to
done.
point out though that Cinderblock bought himself so much time in the pocket. Like he's not a running quarterback, but he's running for his fucking life. Like you want to see the offensive line isn't that bad. On Sunday, Jacoby Brissett was pressured on 55% of his dropbacks. 55. League average, just so we're on the same page, is 39%. So a guy that can't run fast, can't throw far, is out there just getting killed. And you want to throw Drake May in there? Listen, the positives about Jacoby is that he's not going to lose you a game, or he hasn't so far, right? Negatives are he can't win you one. Drake May will be a more diverse quarterback, but he's going to throw more interceptions. He's probably going to get hurt. You don't want that to happen. There's no need for you to risk that right now. Right?
Injury's not part of the game. I'm not going to live in fear in that regard. Injury's part of the game, and I'm not. It's not about being negative. It's just I'm sorry. It's just like I said we'll get into the preview of the game later on, but I'm telling you, send the block, runs to the sideline, knocked out of bounds. Oh
no, it's not happening.
He's on the ground.
He's on the ground. You should say a Hail Mary or two for you thinking like that, Bobby.
Maybe if they lost to the Bengals in week 1, history repeat it.
Yeah, true.
Sure, yeah, boy, yeah, on a version 1 and 2. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah,
Bobby, if I were to tell you that Patriots wide receivers, and when I say wide receivers, I mean human beings that identify as wide receivers on the football field, accounted for 3 catches for 19 yards and a touchdown in a game that you went to overtime in and lost 23-20, would you believe me?
No. The only team I would believe would be the Patriots. So it's the only team I would believe before.
Well, we did that. Right, like I do love how down you are about this, but
it's wild. Like, okay, Polk that was nice throw to Polk right in the end zone, right? It was a short route.
You got open.
Polk's been he's been wide open. A lot of these players, once again, Twitter, shout out to Evan Lazard, shout out to Trevor Kyles. Like these guys are giving kind of like
NFL Plus. That shit is
right. Yeah, they give like they're all 22, like breakdown of it, which is dope. And it's like you're seeing this man just more wide open, than the Red Sea was. Like, and you're not finding him on the field. Once again, throw a bubble screen, throw a quick out, like go do switch something up, bro. I don't. Once again, I'm fine. I'm content with the running game. Like I said, I think Van Pelt's done a better job than that we've seen in recent years. So I'm fine with that. Cool. Like I've conceded to that. I love the zone running scheme. Great, awesome. But damn, like if you're running for 180, once again, you're running for 180 and you lose by 3 at the crib, like that can't happen. That can't happen. It can't. Like regardless of what is expected or not, that cannot happen.
How funny is it? How funny is it, Bobby, that a year ago, Bill Belichick removed the offensive coordinator, put in a defensive coordinator, a special teams guy to run the offense. He really just took away all the passing, and turns out he was a year ahead. Because the NFL, like you said, passing's down, rushing's up.
Yeah, so, the entire NFL is.
What, like, for you? Because we all know where I stand, but you two are different, which is why I love it. Bobby, can this team, let's just say, exceed expectations? Our expectations on this show were 4 games as a high. I wanted 5 games as a high, but whatever. Can this team win 6 games this year, playing the way that they played so far in the first 2?
Yeah, for sure.
You really think that?
I do. With the defense playing the way that they did.
I'm glad you mentioned that. What a perfect segue, but I'll let you finish.
No, I'm just with the way that they played the first 2 weeks, there's no doubt this team can win this game. Will they? Probably not.
Right.
But they definitely can. There's a path to them surprising some people for sure.
Oh, all right. So Hollywood, Bob Kelly mentioned the Patriots defense, as long as they play the way that they have been playing. DK Metcalf and JSN combined for 22 catches, 250 yards, and a touchdown. How concerned are you about this fucking defense? Because I'm very concerned.
No, Gino was out there looking like Warren Moon. Unbelievable. I mean, but even with the
They're
numbers,
still hugging 23 points though.
No facts. No, but I'm saying, but it's just like the biggest. I mean, the biggest play obviously was the Metcalf, touchdown. So that was the biggest play of the game for them offensively. But it's the flip side, right? We didn't have the passing game. They had no running game. So you know for sure they're throwing it because Kenny Walker, who I was high on coming out of Michigan State a few years back, he was out for Sunday's game. So they wasn't really running it. So you let Geno just sit back there, get comfortable, get some clam chowder, go to Red Robin, go say hello to Malcolm Butler.
Yeah,
And
they have no pass rush.
and just throw for all over the parking lot. So I just, to me, it was wild to see. But then again, that's why they got JSN from Ohio State. That's why they got him. He's going to be Tyler Lockett's replacement when he leaves. I mean, obviously Metcalf is a man amongst boys. Dude is special. There's no other way to say it. Also someone that should have been here or could have been here 2019, but that's another day, time for another day. But yeah, it's wild to me that you let Geno come in here and throw for 344 or 327, whatever it was. But either way, it was over 300 yards. It was insane that he looked that good. But like I said, he's been on a redemption story since he got to Seattle. So, funny what could have been.
So you say, Bobby, as long as the defense plays with it does. Geno Smith was 33 of 44 for 327 yards and a touchdown with no interceptions. Does that reek of a good defensive performance to you?
They held, what was the run game?
46 yards.
So they held the run to 46 yards.
So about 20 more yards than Jacoby Brissett had in the second half.
So imagine that. That's oh my God. Oh, so once again, you can't
you still were in this game the entire time.
Right, but the reason that we weren't, like, you're going to say it was a blocked field goal, and you're not wrong, but it's really the blown coverage, isn't it?
Yeah. JSN was open the entire game.
And how do you not have safety help for Christian Gonzalez on DK Metcalf in that situation?
It did. They blew the coverage.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Once again, I mean, obviously, and I actually shout out to Duggar for being accountable and saying that it was on him. He easily could have said something different, but I appreciate him, stepping up and taking that blame there. But yeah, I mean, listen, DK Metcalf is special, so like I said, it was going to be tough to stop him anyways. But it just looked so bad. Well, it was like they was about to collide. It's like you and I like collide, like that's what it looked like. It was out of control. It's like, damn, I hate this man. Made us look foolish.
And another blow was dealt to the Patriots on defense. Juwan Bentley tears his pec. He's out for the year. This comes at a time when obviously we're down Christian Barmore.
Trade Matthew Judon.
Yeah, we traded Judon.
No one left.
Yeah, so like realistically, Bobby, because you were just recently in a situation like this, right? Like it's different personnel, but Diggs went down for you, and the season was obviously different last year when that happened. That was last year, right? Yeah.
No.
So, how much faith do you have, as just an observer, that this defense can, rally together and band-aid it up, knowing that the architect of the defense over the last 24 years is not walking through that door?
Not very much. There's no one left. Who's even left? I can't even name a defensive lineman on the Patriots right now.
You can't.
I literally can't do it. So,
come on. I don't think I can do it either. That sucks.
Yeah, but you got Dietrich Wise. That's it, right?
Yeah, Dietrich Wise.
Dietrich Wise. That's it.
Okay. Yeah,
that's about it.
Keon White, is he a lineman or a linebacker? What do you want to call him?
He's more of a hybrid. He's a man. Like let's put that out there. Like that man has arrived. Like, so whatever.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Because I'm like, once again, but to his credit, we've always said finding defensive talent wasn't the issue. It's just you couldn't find much outside of a running back on offense. So cool.
Tight end, that's fine.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But it's just man. But Keon White, that brother is special, and we all know he would have been gone in 2 years had Bill still been here, because he would have been like, "Hey, you're playing too well, buddy. I'm not paying you." And he probably would have traded him to y'all, Bobby. He would trade y'all down to Dallas.
Oh, can you imagine him?
Can you imagine that? Oh,
and Micah,
Jesus.
So,
Great.
Bobby, I'm just a little confused. How do you go from saying if the defense can play the way that it has, that they're going to surpass expectations?
I forgot about Bentley being out.
I was going to say, then in the next sentence, say, you know what? Fuck it. They definitely can't hold this together.
Yeah, I forgot. The injuries have really piled up for him.
But this is where, so obviously, Mayo is in his first year. Covington, who has been there since 2017, is now been thrusted into that coordinator role. So, I mean, my thing is, I'm sure they're probably racking their brains trying to figure out what's next. But it's like, yo, take on this challenge, because now it's like you're gonna have to be a little more. You have to be better schematically. You're gonna have to be better with the discipline. You have to be better with a lot of different things. So, I'm intrigued to see what they do, not just tomorrow night as we record on Wednesday, but it's what they do for the rest of the season. Because, like I said, Bentley's out for the year, which that seems to be the reports that's been out. How do they scheme up the rest of that defense? How do they, is this the rise of Marte Mappel, who we haven't heard much since he came out of Sacramento State a few years back? Who becomes that person? I don't know if Anthony Jennings from Alabama is on the team or not. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but he is. Okay, so It's like, do you finally become something? Like, cause it's just like, he's also been, he's just been, a darker shade Chase Winovich. He hasn't done shit. He hasn't done anything. So something needs to give. Something's got to happen.
All right, pull us off the ledge, Bobby. Who?
Right.
What
please.
are the bright?
Please.
What are the? I'm not going there. What are the bright spots of this game that we should be talking more about?
The fact that you were a blocked field goal away from beating a team that's 2-0 right now.
Well, and a 54-yard fucking bomb. So yeah, 2 big plays away.
With 2 big plays and a pass interference that was questionable in overtime.
Oh, Dr. Jones, yeah.
You think that was questionable?
It was somewhat questionable.
Everybody doesn't get that call. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that once again, because those are listening, you know what I'm talking about. Not every team gets that call, and we're no longer in that position to not get that call, but other teams are.
No, it's you guys say the sky is falling here, but my team lost 42-17 this week.
Oh, they scored on every offensive possession. Like every offensive possession. I can't even put that on y'all. They scored on every time they've gotten the ball, regardless they've scored. It's insane. That's crazy.
So don't worry. It was a bad loss because they had it, but it was not a bad loss because they had it, if that makes sense.
It doesn't, but I knew that that it doesn't make sense either.
It does make sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Right. What?
Go ahead.
What do you think about Antonio Gibson? Is he everything that you wanted out of a backup back?
Well, I mean, I thought that he was good in Washington, so I didn't know what he would be here. Because once again, I think that surprisingly, despite what you thought he was going to be here, talking about Zeke, I thought Zeke had a pretty good year here. Last year. So I was hoping that Antonio Gibson could be at least that, if not a little bit more. Running wise, he definitely is more. We'll see how he is coming out the backfield as far as catching passes, because I thought Zeke was pretty good at that as well. But yeah, that 45-yard run, like, to me, that in years past, that would have sealed the deal, right? Like in years past, that would have sealed the deal. They would find a way to either punch it in or get the 3 points, and then it'd have been ball game, right? But yeah, he contributed. Once again, Rhamondre was great again on Sunday as well. So once again, if you're getting 120 to 150 for them guys on a regular basis, it goes back to 2020. It looks like the 2020 offense again, where they were top 5 in rushing. They're well on their way to being a top 5 rushing attack in the NFL. So that part has me excited. But there's just some things discipline-wise they have to clean up in order to at the least be competitive, not just for the right now, but going forward. But they have things to build off of from Sunday. For sure. It's just a matter of, is it going to be something that comes to fruition, in week 3 and in the weeks to come.
Do you think Cam Newton has a better arm than Jacoby Brissett?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bobby?
No. Cam
really?
Cam Newton's arm is jelly, bro. That thing is jelly.
If Cam Newton is jelly, what's that, jam? I what? Come
They're
on,
equal.
come on, Bobby,
Equal.
come on, Bobby. You know too much to make a statement like that. You know that man.
I'm just putting it out there that in 2020,
Garbage.
even with inflation, we paid Cam Newton $1.3 million to be a starting
1.3?
quarterback, and we're paying Jacoby Brissett $8.5 million.
Oh, but no,
Eight and a half.
but to your point, Mike. And once again, I mean, he ended up getting hurt, so we don't know what would happen here. But it's
Russ.
Russ, oh, you had him for the free. Robert Kraft, that's all you do. That's all you do is bring in people for the loan. Shout out to Rick Ross. Get it for the loan. This is what you do. So you couldn't bring him in? You want to give a guy that won 2 games during the Deflategate $8.5 million? What? Like it's it's worse than what I imagined, right? Because once again, you try to talk yourself into it, like, man, like maybe if he could be, but you know,
I don't think he's that bad. You guys,
stop,
Bobby.
What 149, bro? No, wait, hold on, Mike. Sorry, God. Once again, Bobby, I love you, brother. I love you. You're my guy. I you know I love you. If Dakota Rain Prescott threw for 149, you would rip him to shreds on the show. Yes or no?
yeah, that's probably true.
Okay.
And context also matters, though. This is this will heighten Ray's point to Bobby. His 149 was his makeup game after throwing 127.
The joke. So in 2 weeks, you throw for 276 yards.
Correct.
Unbelievable.
Completing
Real.
61. No, I think he's at 58% of his passes.
58%. So you can't even get to 60.
That's pretty well. His other ones they're more than 5 yards out. But you know you're sounding pretty negative on Jacoby, which listen, I'm here for.
Yeah.
But as a team overall, just remember when we did our predictions for the Patriots, you had their first win coming, I think, in like week 6.
No, facts.
So are they better than you thought they were going to be?
So
or
no,
are the other teams worse?
No, I think they're a little bit better than what I won't say we. I'll put it like so what I thought they were going to be. Once again, they can still very much have a terrible record, and we'll see as the season unfolds. But yeah, I think from a defensive standpoint, they're better. I mean, granted, we saw what happened Sunday, but it's like once again, when you deal with that type of guy, once again, Chase could have easily got 150 on us had he been in camp, and so that happens, right? So I don't want to take away from what they did there, but like you said week 1 is always the weirdest week of the year outside of week 17. So I get that. But yeah, they've been coached up better than I thought they would be. The running game is better than I thought it was going to be. The blocking has been, like I said, a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. Once again, we're not saying they're 90s Cowboys like Larry Allen's not walking through that fucking door. Rest in peace. But it's just like I'll take what they've done so far, because once again, he hasn't been on his back 5, 6, 7, 8 times like we was expecting him to be, because getting pressure and being on your back is 2 different things. So yep. I just once again they've been coached better, because I think they were more physical during training camp, which is something that's a lost art in the NFL nowadays during practice. They don't hit as hard. So I think doing that has prepared them for the physical aspect of coming into the regular season. So, kudos to them for that. But, they still have some things they have to fine tune, and hopefully they do as the season wins.
So, Bobby, when we were doing the prediction show, you laughed out loud. It's on. You go back, listen to it in the show notes. You laughed out loud when I said that I think this team could win 5 games. You said there's no way that they're going to win more than 3. Are they? Are they better than you thought that they would be at this point?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they're like we said, they're a couple plays away from being 2-0, and this being a completely different podcast. I mean,
would they have made your power rankings if they were 2-0?
No, they would have been. They would have been honorable mention. They would have been honorable.
I love it.
Oh, I listened and just took so many notes. How many shots that were just taken at me last night? It was just great. It's like I was there. It's like I was there, honestly. Which I love. If you're not talking to me, I hope that you're talking about me. But going in, week 3 starts tomorrow, Thursday. We go to East Rutherford, New Jersey, for the New York Jets home opener. This will be the first game that the New York Jets are favored over the New England Patriots since 2010. So it's been 14 years.
Crazy.
Also, Geno Smith did something to us that Aaron Rodgers has not done in the game since 2012. He threw for 300 plus yards. How do you think, Bobby, our defense is going to hold up against Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers, and Garrett Wilson?
It's been a different kind of offense for the Jets so far. So
Yeah.
it's not that high flying offense that we're expecting. It's been more ground and pound, which you expect with the running backs they have there. They have that guy Allen too, who's been off the charts. I think if the Patriots defense can hold the run, they have a really good chance in this game. If the run defense shows up like it did last time, they have a really good chance because Rodgers hasn't looked like Rodgers so far this year. So unless he turns the corner somehow against the team, I mean, I guess based off of this past performance this past week, the way you guys are saying he could, but I don't see it happening.
So do you think that he hasn't been his past self based off of game planning or based off of diminishing abilities?
Both.
Really?
I think diminishing ability, so they have to game plan, and now they run the ball.
Ray, would you believe me if I told you that Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown more than 300 yards in a game since 2012? It's been 12 years. 12 years.
Against the Patriots, you mean?
No. Total.
Oh, I mean, total. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, no, I wouldn't believe it, especially when he's won some MVPs in that time frame as well. So, I mean, but that also speaks to team success as well. So, I guess, but yeah, that would have been surprising to me because, like I said, he has some really.
I think I might be wrong.
Say
I
again?
just fact checked myself in real time. It was 12/12/2021.
Oh,
Not
that's
12
yeah.
Not 12 years, but 3
It's
years.
still a long time though. That's still
3
a long
years.
time.
Still a long time for a player of his caliber. Obviously, the injury last year, so I mean, obviously, he couldn't have done it there. But
What a wild thing to say, jackass.
12 years.
Listen, I said it with such conviction that I believed that. I was like, that can't be right.
yeah, I mean, hasn't really won a meaningful game, and so if we could say that'd be a little more official.
Someone say 14 years, but yep.
Yeah, we have that. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Which was actually was a really good Super Bowl. But no, I think that to piggyback off what Bobby just mentioned, yeah, it is a mix of him not being the talent that he's been, in addition to how they game plan, right? So him with throwing like 23 or 30 for like 175. Like once again, Tennessee is not. They're not that great of a defense for him not to dominate like that. So it's just like I don't know. Once again, I think that they were trying to preserve him. And I think in back of Robert Saleh's mind and just their organization as a whole, I think they're trying to preserve Aaron Rodgers as much as possible because of what happened last year in that Bills game on Monday night. So maybe they let loose a little bit more. It is a short week, so I think we can expect more Breece Hall. We can expect more of the Allen guy that Bobby just alluded to. So I don't think, and I'm saying respectfully,
Or say Grayson. It's not
wait,
Grayson.
respect, and also just to Jefferson's line, respectfully, Garrett Wilson is not DK Metcalf either. He's not. He's good, but he's not DK Metcalf either. So I don't see him going, 10 to 150 on us. Could he go 5 of 80 and a touchdown? Absolutely. But I like my chances with Gonzo at the helm against him and see what him shadow him all over the field. So, but yeah, either way, it should be a good game.
I think the guy you're thinking of, Bobby, is it Braylon Allen? Braylon Allen?
Is it
right.
Braylon? Braylon.
Yeah. I think that's right. I think I honestly think that the Jets are game planning Rodgers and the offense this way right now because they didn't pay him all that guaranteed money to run all around the field and throw 300 yards in weeks 1 through 5. They want him to do that in weeks 18 and then the playoffs, right? Like there's no need for them to empty the tank right now. If you can win games and obviously they're 1-1, then do it with the run. Like that's why you drafted Breece Hall, right? That's why. And I'm unlike you. I do think Garrett Wilson. Maybe not DK Metcalf.
He's elite. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Oh, he's very talented.
But you wouldn't say he's a top 10 wide receiver in the league. Bless you, Bobby. Thank you for muting.
Sure.
I mean, okay, you have Jefferson.
Yeah.
Devontae.
Let's do this exercise.
So Jefferson, Devontae, CD, Tyreek Hill, Chase. Let me see. I'd put DK at 6.
Amon Ra.
Yeah, I'm Russell Brand 7.
You think DK Metcalf today, this year, 2024, is better than Amon-Ra St. Brown?
No, Amon-Ra is better.
Well, yeah. So we can switch. Okay, but either we can switch that. Fine. So I'm on 6, DK 7. Okay, let's see 8.
Like Mike Evans. Don't forget about Mike Evans.
Yeah. Okay.
He's still top 10.
Yeah, he's still. Yeah. So I put Mike Evans at 8. 9
for me. It's then for me in 9. It's Garrett Wilson, and 10 it's Devo or Ayuk. You pick.
So to me, Debo's better.
I would agree.
I'd put Debo at 9, and then. So how do you feel about?
Always hurt.
Wait, is Diggs? Hold on, y'all. Diggs is no longer top 10 to y'all.
Diggs. I might put Nico Collins over him.
When healthy though, he's not top 10. I'm like right at 10, like not 5 or 6, but just like right at 10. I think to me, when Diggs is on, he's as good as anybody in the league.
I don't know, man. Nico Collins looks better.
I mean, now, but right now, you're right. Right now, Nico has been proven to be the man over there. But yeah,
but I would say just think about what Stephon Diggs did with bad quarterbacks. It wasn't really anything versus what Garrett Wilson did with bad quarterbacks.
True.
I would say like the volume's probably higher because they're throwing all the time, but he made Zach Wilson look respectable.
Right. I forget. I can't believe we didn't even say this because I mean I know they lost on Monday night, but I mean what AJ Brown or Devontae Smith.
I forgot about AJ Brown. Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, he's Brown or Smith. That's what I'm saying. To me, those are guys that are in that. They're right in that category.
Yeah, so, you're right.
You could put
he's in that tier though. He's in that tier. He's in that
tier though. He's in that tier.
He's in that 8
not top 10.
12.
He's borderline top 10 though. Borderline for sure. Borderline, in my opinion.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that we put a little respect behind Garrett Wilson's name because I fully believe that Christian Gonzalez is going to shut him down this week, and we need to make sure that we pump him up a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, give credit where it's due, but like at the same time, it's like once again we have seen what Gonzalez done. Even then, outside of the blown coverage on Sunday, DK didn't go crazy when Gonzo was the primary receiver. I mean, primary defender. Excuse me. So it's like once again he blinked.
He caught 12 balls for 120 yards.
Right, but I'm saying, but I know they moved him around though. It wasn't all on Gonzo. So I mean, once again, I know schematically. Once again, you have to be better come Thursday. But once again, it ain't like Garrett Wilson ain't capable of doing what I just said. But I'm saying, to me, I don't think that's gonna happen. Once again, you have a good shot of winning if it's 5 for 80 and a touchdown, and not 12 for 140 and 2 touchdowns. Like
here's how I would.
And that's the case, it's over. You're gonna get blown
Here's
out.
how I would grade who's a better wide receiver at this point in time. Right now, if DK Metcalf was on the Patriots and Jacoby Brissett was a quarterback, do you think he would do better than Garrett Wilson on the Patriots? I don't. I think Garrett Wilson would do better.
You know what's wild, and I can't believe I'm saying this.
Here we go. Mari Cooper?
No, Mark Cooper. No, he would relegate to the best blocking wide receiver in the league had Jacoby Brissett been a quarterback here. I mean, if he was playing with Jacoby Brissett,
DK,
yeah, DK Metcalf,
of course,
he'd be the best blocking wide out in the league, and we'd be talking about what a block he had on the outside screen, what a block he had on that crack, on that zone run, like that's fucking insane.
He'd be our 7th offensive lineman.
Yeah, the dude could go. Yeah, exactly. The dude could go for 80 at any given time. So he would become, a N'Keal Harry 2.0, which is why.
So all week, it's been a short week. So for the last couple of days, we've been hearing from down in Foxborough, Bobby. This is what the team has been saying. This is what Gerard Mayo's been saying. Everybody's been saying that they're going to get the wide receivers more involved this game. Do you really expect? Like, do you expect? Right. So, but do you expect the Patriots to try and go against the grain and say most Thursday nights is they focus on running and packing it in? Would you be surprised if they tried to quote unquote air it out as much as Jacoby Brissett could?
Yeah, I think air it out is a very relative term the way you guys are talking.
Well, remember he did go 8 of 12 in the first half for 117 yards.
Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they're saying out of the camp, then that's what the plan is. But whether they're actually going to be able to do it is a whole different topic altogether.
And let me be clear.
Especially with Sauce locking it down in New York.
Yeah, no facts. No,
Right.
I love it. I love his game. But now, if you're telling me he goes 8-12 for both halves, so and that'd be 16-24 for 234 and a touchdown. Sign me
Perfect.
up.
Perfect.
I'll take it every week. The problem is, he's not going to come close.
Do you want to know who agrees with you, Ray? Las Vegas. You want to know why? You want to know what the over/under is for yards for Jacoby Brissett for passing yards in this game?
120.
165 and a half, which, by the way, is one of the lowest over/unders for a quarterback for passing yards in the last 15 years.
That's some 1975 type shit. Like, I'm like, I didn't know we were looking at Bob Greasy and fucking Norv Van Brocklin out here. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. That's a fucking joke. That's wild.
Keys to victory, and which this will parlay it into our week 3 picks. Bobby, like, what are your 2 keys to victory? And because you're not a Patriots fan anymore because they won, you can pick. Like, is it the Jets? Is it the Patriots? But you can talk about those teams' keys to victory. I'll give you the floor, my friend.
Keys to victory for the Patriots is have more than 32 passing yards in the second half.
Like that, it's that simple. That's simple. If that fucking simple.
That's
right.
number one. No, I just think it's play mistake. It's Thursday night football, so it's play mistake free football, and trust your what's happening on the field. You know what I mean? If you're running the ball, look at what the Packers did this past weekend. If you're running the ball, and it's working, keep doing it, man. And you can win games with quarterbacks like Malik Willis. You know what I mean? Yep. It's not like you can't win a game with a quarterback like Jacoby Brissett. You absolutely can.
I mean, the Browns did it repeatedly last year,
right,
2 years ago.
Yeah, no, it was last year. They had like 5 different quarterbacks.
And then Flacco took the playoffs.
And he showed who he was. But yeah, I don't know. I think that if you continue to run the ball,
taking Joe Flacco shots real quick.
It's
comeback player of the year. Come on.
I mean, he was money for most of the
year. White Dak Prescott.
They got spanked.
That's it. It got scary real quick. But no, I mean, like I said, if you run the ball, if you once again discipline on defense, and then once again you got a shot. Score wise, I think it's very similar to what we saw on Sunday with Seattle, but I think the Jets win 23-17.
All right, so Ray's taking the Jets 23-17. Roberto,
I'll take same score. Jets 23-20. Same score as last week.
So the Jets are favored. They're a 6-point favorite. I'm going to take the Patriots to cover the spread.
It's a big line.
But to lose the game, I do think it's going to be like 24-21, something like that. I think it'll be competitive. And again, that's all I'm asking for at this point in time. And please don't let any of our quarterbacks get killed. Next on the docket, we have those football giants from New York at Cleveland, right?
But I mean, both teams have been just, I don't like, you don't know what you're going to get from either side. Daniel Jones obviously cannot play quarterback in this league. Neither can Deshaun Watson at this moment.
Yeah, apparently.
Honestly, I think that shit ends in a tie. I don't even think I think that shit ends in a tie.
Oh, that'd be fucking wild if it does.
Yeah.
Bobby, you were saying?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson sucks. But so does Daniel. That Daniel Jones picture is the best. It's like the prototype of the worst NFL quarterback, and it's like Daniel Jones accuracy, Daniel Jones swag, Daniel Jones.
All that terrible, awful.
Yeah, no, it's a tale of who's going to be the worst quarterback this weekend.
So who you gonna pick?
Cleveland. I'll go Cleveland.
Yeah, I got Cleveland rubbing this one out. Then we have Green Bay. We have Green Bay at Tennessee. This is a Malik Willis homecoming game. You got to believe that he's gonna be all jacked up. I think Green Bay. I think Green Bay is okay. I mean, I think they're gonna be okay. And I think Jordan Love. They said he might be ready to play. I fucking hope he better not do it. But if it's Malik Willis, I'll still take I'll still take Green Bay. This is basically a pick'em game. Tennessee's favored by 1.5. But Ray, Packers at Titans.
Yeah, I hope Malik Willis goes crazy on them. I hope he goes crazy. Once again, he was being touted as like kind of like a new guy, a new savior after Tannehill's bum ass got out of there. So they gave up on him. So I hope that he goes off. So yeah, I'm going with Green Bay. And once again, Josh Jacobs is a monster. So I think that he probably gets another 200 on Sunday. So
yeah, well, let's hope Will Levis doesn't decide to lateral the ball backwards this weekend. He's done it two weekends in a row. His coach Callahan absolutely went off on this dude in the post-game press conference.
So I loved that soundbite. He's an adult.
He's an adult. It was stupid.
Better. He knows better.
It was so
I was talking to my students. Like it was so heartwarming.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Green Bay.
It was great. It was awesome.
All right, DK's Chicago Bears coming off of a hard-fought loss. Go into Indy to face Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor. I think Michael Pittman, obviously, he'll be playing. I think Josh Downs is playing this week, so they should have their full offense, their full skill set. Indy's favored by a point. I think it's a pick 'em. I'm gonna take the Bears in this game. I really haven't picked against the Bears all year, but I think that this should be a real fun. This should be a fun game to watch. And I really hope, I want Anthony Richardson to succeed because I think the league is so much better with athletes like him as a quarterback. I know I'm hard on Lamar. I am, just because he can't win a big game. But I think he's a phenomenal athlete and has deserved the MVPs that he's won. So I'm hoping that happens for both Caleb and for Anthony Richardson. But I'll take the Bears. Ray?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been high on Chicago too, so far going into this year. So I hopefully this is a game where it turns into a shootout. But once again, I'm a fan of Anthony Richardson. Everyone knows why I'm a Gators fan, so I want him to do well. But I'm gonna go with Chicago in a close one too. I think they find a way to get it done. I don't trust them yet.
I'll go with Chicago too. They did this past week against Green Bay. You knew all Green Bay was going to do is run the ball. It was that was the game plan. That's what they were going to do, and they couldn't stop it.
Crazy.
So if there's something that's going to break the Bears out of this funk that they've been in, this offensive funk, it's facing a team that can't defensive game plan against the most obvious game plan ever. So,
but I mean, I'm going with the Bears. To the point that you and DK talked about last night, it's like you mentioned, like their passing attack isn't great. It hasn't been great so far for Chicago. But DeAndre Swift, like he can't make that. He can't make that first guy miss.
Yeah,
he can't. Yeah. Like that's very different back than Josh Jacobs. I think we can all agree on that.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I'm high on Swift. I love him. I literally have him in every fantasy league, which is probably why I'm losing every fantasy league. Now we have Houston at Minnesota. I mean, I didn't think that Minnesota was going to be this good.
Unexpected power versus power.
But this is why, and DK looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, when you have the guy at wide receiver, it changes your life as a quarterback, and that's what we're seeing with Sam Darnold so far.
95-yard touchdown.
Could it still implode? Absolutely. Once again, right now, we're not talking about the week 7 to week 8, but right now, them boys look ready. And I'm sure Jets fans and Panthers fans are looking like, what the fuck is this? Where is this coming from? But once again, respectfully, y'all have not had Justin Jefferson on your team. That man is special. The ball is going to him, and you can't do anything about it. I was gonna say you can't teach that, but I was trying to figure it out. But yeah, but it's that them boys are special. So I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the Vikings winning.
Jefferson is questionable / doubtful.
Oh, I believe it when they say he's fully out. But
if he's out, it's no brainer.
If he's out, it's obviously Houston. But if he plays, I'm a rock with Minnesota.
No, I'm going Houston. They're just such a wagon at this point. I love the Minnesota story. They did upset San Francisco.
That's right.
I'm not counting them out. Definitely not counting them out, but I'm going to have to go with you.
And San Fran is better than Houston.
San Fran is better than Houston.
So it's just like, once again, we can't say about McCaffrey being out because once again, Buddy just ran for 180 even without. So I mean, it's plug and play with them boys at running back. So we can't say it's because of McCaffrey being out. You can count him being out 3 or 4 games a season, anyways. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. So yeah, but yeah, that should be a good one over to shootout.
The Eagles go into New Orleans and try and tame those Saints who have scored on every offensive possession this season so far. So Philly needs a bounce back game after their prime time loss to Kirk Cousins. Let that sink in. That like one of 4 teams in the last 10 years.
Like that, Mike? You like that? You like that?
Hey, he's won 4 or 5 or something like that
in 12 years.
Yeah, but he's won 4 of his last 5 in prime time.
Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must
be a friend of the show. Yeah. All right. So Philly at New Orleans. Who do you got, Bobby?
Oh, it's a tough one because New Orleans has been the team so far. You know, they beat up on Carolina and they beat up on Dallas. Wow. Who's favored?
New Orleans is a 2.5 point favorite.
2.5. Wow.
Really? That feels low.
Yeah. If AJ Brown plays, I got Philly. I just think they're better. But I mean, I think it's a good test. It's a very good test to see exactly what New Orleans is, because if it's a close game or, you know, another blowout for New Orleans, then obviously they're for real. But if New Orleans isn't for real, then Philly wins it. And
is that the Superdome?
New Orleans, yeah.
Is it the Caesars Superdome, whatever it's called? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's always going to be Mercedes-Benz. I was just there in July.
I know it's not. I don't think it's Mercedes-Benz anymore.
No. I know. I'm messing with you. It is Caesars. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the casino after. It was pretty dope. But
the sports books, man.
Yeah. It's amazing. But let's talk about that out there. But it's different down there, and that arena is different. To me, I'm gonna go with the Saints. I think that they won't blow Philly out the building, but I'm gonna say they win by a touchdown. I just think that they, like I said, them boys. I can't believe that Derek Carr is looking this good. It's unbelievable to me.
Hate it.
It's wild. But I said, you know, Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara does not get enough love. That dude, when healthy, once again, we were talking about him being a top 5 back. He does everything. So he runs well. He catches passes well. You know, he's real shifty. He's
carrying my fantasy team right now.
Yeah, he just does everything well. So it's the first time I think he's really been healthy too. I think in a few years too. So it's amazing what happens when your best player on offense is available to play. How good you look. So yeah, I got them by a touchdown now.
Listen, I mean, yes, I think Philly's far more talented than Dallas is offensively, but defensively, I think Dallas is, above and beyond Philly, and New Orleans fucking spanked the Cowboys.
Right.
So until they show me that they aren't who I think they are, I'm going to pick the Saints. Chargers at Pittsburgh, battle of two 2-0 teams. Bobby,
I think we'll see it's smash mouth for a smash mouth in this game.
Yep.
And I wasn't prepared with these picks, so you kind of put me on the spot here, because this is another tough one.
If only I'd sent you a rundown 3 hours before the show.
I thought week 3 picks just meant just the Pats game, but
that's true. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
But just to give you time to catch your train of thought here, is it smart that Harbaugh is making the Chargers a smash mouth team when you have Justin Herbert as your quarterback?
J.K. Dobbins is making him look smart.
I know.
That's his style, though. That's his style.
That's what he does.
Granted, worked in Michigan.
I don't think he's going to be able to do it against the Steelers defense. Steelers defense looks unbelievable through the first 2 weeks, so I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Is that Heinz Field or is it SoFi?
Heinz.
Is that Heinz?
Yeah. It would be a Steelers home game regardless, even if it was in LA.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely travel well for sure. That's fair. I'm still rocking with LA. I think I'm a big Harbaugh anyways. He was someone on the short list I wanted here with Bill's exit. So he's clearly a leader of men. And once again, you can say what you want to say about what went down in Michigan, and he failed the program. He smacked Ohio State when he needed to. They went undefeated and they won national championship. He's forever goated in Michigan. Yep. Forever. forever. So the big house belongs to White. It ain't the house that he built, but he definitely left his legacy behind in a good standing there in Michigan. So that's that. But we saw it in San Francisco. He gradually builds each year to become that contender. They're the only team in the AFC West that's going to even come close to Kansas City. And once again, Kansas City is going to be Kansas City, but they're the only team that may even have a shot to even be in the game against Kansas City up in that division. So, and that's because they run the ball. But once again, my biggest thing about the Chargers has never been about the talent. From, whether when we were younger, now, like they have talent on their roster, right?
Always.
They just can never, ever, 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 ever stay healthy. Like ever. I don't, from Derwin James to Keenan Allen, he was there, Mike Williams, like Austin Eckler when he was there, like
Hunter Henry,
like they just never find a way to stay healthy, unfortunately. And then they would catch fire in the Philip Rivers era during December, and then they would fade up to the sunset come January. So who knows? Maybe them being a smash mouth team changes their trajectory come playoff time. But I think they go in there, and they find a way to get it done. I think it'll be a 3-point game.
Spread is so right now the over under for this game is 35.5. It's the lowest in week 3.
That's fair. Yeah,
and Pittsburgh's favored by 1.5. So you're taking the Chargers. Bobby took the Steelers. I really want Justin Fields to succeed. And I think that this is
that's a guy. I know it's a guy.
The most formidable defense that the Chargers have come against so far. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this game. And I hope it is the performance of a lifetime from Fields, because I feel like they did him wrong in Chicago. Mm-hmm. They didn't really give him all the chances to succeed. They fucked around with him this rookie year. And now that he has a good coach and a solid program, let's see what happens. Denver at Tampa Bay. Can we all just say Tampa Bay?
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, listen, Baker Mayfield, man. Damn,
lighten it up, man.
Yeah, listen. I mean, once again, but situations matter, bro. It matters. Like to give him Mike Evans, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer, give him a secondary target and Chris Godwin. He's been balling, and everything they wanted him to be in Cleveland, he's now become. And once again, maybe being out the spotlight and just being down there in Tampa, because once again, they don't. Like I said, Tampa's not the team down there. It's I would say if someone lived out there, it's probably goes Dolphins. I would say even Jaguars, then Tampa.
No.
Once again, Duval County is what I'm telling you. It's what I'm saying from just being down there. Like I feel like it's Miami Dolphins, then Jags, then Tampa. Just from how the fans care. I'm not talking about the teams that are better. Just who cares? Miami, Jacksonville, Duval. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a religion out there in Duval County when it comes to the Jaguars. There's a religion. So
we're all picking Tampa.
Yeah.
Carolina at Vegas. We're all picking Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even with Andy Dalton starting.
Yes.
For Carolina.
Okay, they scored a touchdown. Congratulations. So wonderful.
I'm gonna pick the Panthers.
Stop.
I am. Do you remember? Was it last year? It must have been last year. Last year when Andy Dalton started for the Panthers. And was it last year or 2 years ago? And he threw like for 280 yards and 150 of them were to Adam Thielen when they beat the Seahawks. I think he's bound to have one of those games. And the Raiders are the perfect team to do it against. They're also not good at home. They're a better road team, which is strange. It's really strange.
Well, their fans travel well too.
Raider fans,
all them old school AFC,
yeah.
Steelers.
Well, no, the game
in the
70s
have to travel because they.
Oh gosh, okay. But even that, all them great teams that was in the 70s, like all their fan bases travel like really well. So, but yeah, we'll see. But no, we'll see. But that's probably going to happen now. She brought that up. It's probably going to happen. He goes for 250.
Yeah, you heard it here. Like pick up Thielen and bet on him this week. That is what it do it. Miami at Seattle. Skylar Thompson and the Miami Dolphins go into Seattle to play the 2-0 Seahawks.
Seattle. There's no way a guy named Skylar Thompson comes into Seattle and does anything. No fucking way.
I'm picking the Dolphins. Baltimore at Dallas.
Ugh, that's a tough
Baltimore Baltimore is by far the best 2-0 team, or sorry, 0-2 team that I've seen in recent memory. Dallas is coming off a tough loss, obviously. So is Baltimore to the Raiders. Ray.
So do I pick with my head or my heart? Because
I don't know. My both said the same thing. So you do you, bro.
My heart is like, yo, I'm a Lamar guy. You got to come in there and fucking dominate. My head says, and it's in Dallas.
Yep.
I think they blow Baltimore out the fucking building come Sunday. Yep. I think it's like 32, like 19. Because I think sometimes because John Harbaugh's in that category too, where it's like it might be time for a new voice, and if they fuck around and lose Sunday, that's going to intensify more. I think Dallas comes in there and steamrolls them Sunday. Yep.
I think it happens quick. Whatever happens quick. If the Cowboys are going to lose this game, we're going to know early, because the way that this team reacts to adversity is not good. So if Baltimore comes in there and puts up 2 early scores, this game's going to get ugly quick. However, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm picking the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys come in.
No, you don't say.
I think they do exactly what Ray said. They come out, blitzing early, get Lamar moving, and hopefully put a stop.
We used to say that about a certain team up here that couldn't handle adversity, and then they figured it the fuck out. So who knows? Who knows? But Sunday they could figure it out.
How many times have the Cowboys lost at home in the last 5 years? It's not a lot, like in the regular season.
Once. Oh, you mean the playoffs? You talking about the playoffs or regular season?
Regular season.
Playoffs.
Once. That was the first time they lost in like 3 years at home. They're not losing back to back kids at home.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, thank you. There you go.
Yeah. 0-3 Baltimore. I can't wait for them to be on the Power Ranking show next week.
Number 10, Baltimore.
Yeah, 49ers at Rams, divisional game. Obviously, no McCaffrey.
49ers.
No Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, no Nakua.
Yeah,
49ers. Nakua. It's gonna be San Fran, right?
The Rams are so beat up.
Listen, I'm a Matt Stafford guy. Like that's not a secret on the show. But I can't. It's just the odds is too much stacked. There's too much stacked against him. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with San Fran.
Same.
Say for quick.
Lions at Cardinals. Lions are a 3-point favorite, and the over/under for this game is 51.5, which I believe is the highest over/under for Week 3. Cardinals look a little gritty this year.
Yeah. I'm going with the upset here. I'm going Cardinals.
Yep, I'm with you, Bobby.
I think Kyler runs around and does his thing against the Lions this week. I think we're talking about an upstart Cardinals team into the playoff push this year. I think
he finally, because the fact that he went on national TV and said that it's not my job to find Marvin Harrison. Are you fucking dumb? Are you dumb?
And then he found Marvin Harrison.
and then you realize, hey, this guy is actually pretty fucking good. And what do you know? He comes in there and tears it up. So as good as I think Detroit is going to be and will be as the season continues, I agree with Bobby's stance. I think that Marvin Harrison again Jr. comes in there and goes bananas. Dude is open like 7-Eleven, and it's just like you can't guard him. You can't guard him. And like I said, you're gonna have to put 2 on him, because if not, it's gonna be a long night.
I'm gonna pick the Lions in this game. I think that this is the coming out party for Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs for the season. Laporta's been real quiet, and that's an untapped offensive resource. And I'm just overall, I'm really confident in the Lions. They're gonna lose some
the whole time
for the entirety of this podcast.
Yeah.
I've been picking the Lions.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football. Kansas City goes down to Atlanta. We have the Chiefs versus the Falcons. Kansas City is a 3.5-point favorite.
Falcons prime time again, huh?
Yeah, it can't happen again, right? He's not going to win another primetime game.
5 out of 6, not against Kansas City. No, it's the Chiefs.
Wait, is it in Arrowhead though? Or is it
no, it's Atlanta.
Doesn't matter. It's the Chiefs.
No, so this is going to be a shootout. This is not going to be a blowout either way. I think this is going to be a shootout. I don't think primetime Kirk strikes again. I don't. So I guess I can see this being like a 34-27 type game. Once again, in the regular season, the man used to be on top of Kirk. So he could go 34 of like 45 for 350 and 3 touchdowns easily. Yeah, we've seen it. It's not like we've seen it
against us.
Yeah, against us. So he can do it, but the 350 still may not be enough because you get 350. Pat might just go 19-28 for 275, two passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and then he gets the first down with 1 minute and 50 seconds left, and you're like, fuck. So that's just what it is. But yeah, Kansas City should win this, but I expect a shootout for sure.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs, and I would take the points too, 3.5. I think.
Yeah.
I think we have 2 games on Monday night, which is always a treat. So we have the Jaguars at the Bills, 7:30. Bills are a 5-point favorite. I'm taking the Jaguars, and not to be an asshole, but Josh Allen does not play well against Josh Allen. Like, it's real. Like, that Josh Allen on Josh Allen crime is real. These are the playoff games the last couple of years, or the games against Jacksonville when Buffalo scores 9 or 12 points. And that's with Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even high on or just high in general, or even on the Jaguars, but I think this is the game they can go in and win.
Bobby? It's going to be a tough one. Jacksonville's been sliding since last year. They're like 1-8 in their last 9. 0-3 if they lose this game. I think this is the Trevor Lawrence. If he doesn't win this game, people are going to start calling for, is he real or not?
Well, I was going to say, they already paid him the money, and they have Mac Jones as the backup. So that is the safest starting quarterback job.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not going to be losing his job, but people are going to be talking about it.
Could you imagine though? Could you imagine
if they bench him?
Well, I'm saying if he just whether he played that bad or just something wild happened, and I mean, once again, Mac Jones came in there and did whatever. It's like,
and lit it up.
One personally, I'd be fucking sick. I'd be fucking pissed. Like I'd want to do a show that fucking night. I'd be livid, to be honest. I'd be livid, but I can't go that far. And it's only because I no longer trust Trevor Lawrence. I've tried to hitch my wagon to him because I think that he's ever.
Yeah, same.
He was a good quarterback. Once again, I've been high on Josh Allen for at least 3 years. So give me 17, especially at the crib. Give me 17.
Agreed. Yeah, give me the Bills.
All right, so as I let off with them, I'm taking the Jaguars. All right, so the final game of the week, the Washington Commanders go to Cincinnati to face Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
It is. Yeah.
I'm going Cincy. I think the struggles of the Commanders trying to get in the end zone continue, and I think Jamar Chase finally breaks out and gets his big game of the year so far. The Commanders just let up 15 catches to Malik Neighbors, something crazy like that. So I think this is the game Chase finally breaks out. I'm going Bengals.
I'm going with the upset. I think that this is the Jaden Daniels coming out party.
You think the Bengals are going to start 0-3?
I'm going with the upset. I think that Jaden Daniels has a coming out party, and once again, I'm going 20. But I'll put a score on it. 23-20 Washington.
Oh, so you're taking Washington to win, and you're taking that. I would pick Washington. I don't
see. You care about I don't care about the point. I'm saying just 23-20. I don't think it's going to be no blowout, but 23-20. 23-20 Washington.
Yeah, I would take. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win outright, but I'm taking the Commanders in the spread, 7.5 points. Yeah, I don't think the Bengals are 7.5.
And once again, I think that they're starting to unravel. Once again, when you go off, and once again, regardless of what you think the call should have been or shouldn't have been,
it's pass interference.
Yeah, but you cannot. No, but even with you cannot lose your composure in that moment. That can't happen. And once again, as me and Mike as being fans, hate to appear. How many times have we seen other teams lose their composure and then we come down and score and the game was over?
Right.
You can't do that against Kansas City because he's not. 15 is not a guy. He's the guy. He is the head of the table. He is who the people come to see. So you cannot make a mistake like that magnitude and think you're still going to come out on top. So yeah, I think that the messages are not hitting the same as they were. And once again, I know me and Bobby were high on Cincinnati last year coming into the season because there's tape on it, but they've imploded since then, and I don't think that they recovered to the extent that we think they can. So yeah, I'm going with the upside that Washington comes in there and gets it done.
That's a wild take, but there's no better way to end it. For the real BK, Bob Kelly, Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan, this is Michael Marcangelo saying thank you so much for listening to Missing the Point. We'll talk to you next week.
Everyone has heard about the U.S. space program, but what is actually going on at NASA? Get the real story in 4 minutes or less with the NASA Daily Podcast from Electricast. Join astronauts and researchers as they conduct groundbreaking experiments, work on the International Space Station, and reach for the stars. NASA Daily, your cosmic update.
Electricast.
Welcome to Entrepreneurs Exposed, where we dive into the stories of visionary entrepreneurs revolutionizing the workforce. Our ongoing mission is to showcase founders and creators doing amazing things in business and beyond. If you're a founder, CEO, tech enthusiast, or someone generally interested in startup land, join me, Adam LeVinter, as I dive into what makes an entrepreneur an entrepreneur. Find us wherever you get your podcasts.